Is this the same slide? No, this is GSR. Hold on one second. Where am I now? Module 4. Okay guys, so I'm going to put some of the modules in the system. Can you finish up those modules? I'm going to put some of the modules in the system. You need to finish up those modules, alright? Next week, got any assignment? No? Next week, got any assignment due? No? Are you doing any internal papers?
Yeah.
What internal paper are you doing? No, I mean, you're doing strategic management. One paper only? You? No internal papers?
No,
Part 4. Okay, you? None.
Internal paper.
Are you doing any internal paper?
Internal paper.
It's so hot. It's only off the aircon. Oh my god. Oh, 27. You know, I come from hell, you know, so it's very hot. So I need to cool the slate down. Yeah, for me it's very hot. I agree. Didn't I say I come from hell? Okay, right now let's move on. Okay, we are looking at, where did we stop? We developed the business case. I think I went through a case study with you, correct? Okay, we're now going to strategic fit. Okay, a case study or a project must have a fit between what the company wants to achieve, what the company wants to achieve, and the project wants to achieve. What the company wants to achieve, what the project wants to achieve. Are you clear? These two fit? Like for example, you know, in Malaysia, we have one of the worst traffic conditions, correct? Traffic is horrible. How's the solution? What are the projects the government do to solve the traffic problem?
More highway.
More highway. Does it solve the traffic problem?
No.
That is called non-strategic fit. In other words, stupid. That means what you do, your project you do, doesn't fit with the problem. Doesn't fit the need of the situation. So strategic fit is you do something to achieve a long-term fit. Okay. There are 3 questions you do. Okay. Okay. Example. Let me ask you. You know, in the during World War II, you know anything about World War II? No, I say World War II, not French Revolution. Don't go there.
Hiroshima.
No, very good. You remember Hiroshima. That's the end of World War II. You went to the end already. Okay. Do you know things about World War II? Like in Malaysia, what happened?
Financial crisis.
Wait, World War II lah. Financial crisis 1927. Portuguese, they're going back. That's like, you know, back to the Parameswara time already.
The Japan come to Malaysia.
Very good. Japan came to Malaysia, correct? Okay. Japan came to Malaysia. All of these are projects. All of these are projects lah. Take over Malaysia. Attack Pearl Harbor. All of these are project. What was their goal in attacking Pearl Harbor? Did you know Japan's strategy was to make sure America negotiate for peace with them. They don't want to take over America. Their goal was not to take over America. They know they cannot take over America, but they want America to negotiate peace, and they simpan the whole of Malaysia, Singapore, all of these countries they want to simpan. It's theirs. That's their goal lah. Why they take over countries like Malaysia and all that? What is spices?
Gold.
Wait, that one is the British Empire.
For the gold.
Malaysia got gold. Kita pilih Malaysia ada gold. You pass geography tak? What resource?
Natural resource
Such as?
Jitima.
Oil. The key resource that Japan need is oil. So this is all fit. They were already had problems getting oil. They had reserve for 2 years only. So they needed to make sure they get all the oil fields and all that. So they conquered. That was their strategy. So this is what we call strategic fit. They have a strategy. Each project undertaken must fit the strategy. Does that make sense? Okay. What is the likely long-term impact of this project on key measures used to evaluate business success? If you do a project, does it achieve something for the company? Does it improve the company's performance in your main KPI? Is the project in line with the objectives and action listed by the company's strategy document? So there is a strategy. Like some companies say they want to become number one in some business, correct? So is the project in line with that? Okay, last one. Does the project address emerging, existing risk or opportunity? So if you do a project, there might be a risk arising or there might be a opportunity arising that you want to capture, got it? So that's where you look at strategic fit. In the absence of fit, the decision to proceed with the project should acknowledge this. They must say that this project is done, there is no fit, it's for other reasons. Are we okay? Example of other reason is your CSR. Okay, let's move on. You do have to look at every project has something called stakeholders. Okay, stakeholders. You got top management, you got finance, accounting, you got functional management. You got something called sometimes a project management office, and you got a project team members. These are your internal stakeholders. Do remember, when you work in an audit firm later on, each assignment is a project. Each assignment, an audit is a project, a consulting job is a project, everything is a project. So you do need to know your project team you're working with. There is going to be, of course, you got functional members also, like the HR is still there, the admin is still there, all the other departments still exist, right? Okay. So you do need to be aware of who are the stakeholders. Next, you do need to look at the external stakeholders, including the client who wants the project and the end user. For example, when we look at one of the Malaysian horrible project, I want you to identify who's the project owner. Can you identify for yeah. Why must the project in Malaysia? Okay, right. We have a project here. Okay, this is project. Very interesting project. They want to build a ship. Okay. They will finish the ships in hopefully next year, 2024. Okay, this is the first office out of 5. Okay, a total of 5 vessels should be handed to Malaysia, right? This is a project. This is notice the word LCS project, largest defense procurement in history. Okay. Revealed that none of the 6 ships have been completed after the government paid 6.8 billion. They paid 6 billion to make 5 ships. And still no ship. You understand? They paid 6 billion. The buyer dah settle, paid. No sampan also. Okay, they then come up with this one. They acquire Bowster to complete the delayed project. Notice the word delayed project. As a result, reduced from 6 to 5. Originally it was 6 for 6 billion, 1 billion, 1 ship. Now it's 5 ship for 9 billion. Now it's 11 billion.
Decrease, but the number increase.
Yes. Malaysia, and then Anwar says we have to stop the subsidy, and then here berapa billion? 3, 4, 6, 8. Then the next year you say like, oh sorry, we have to increase to 14 billion. You understand what is happening, right?
Yes.
Okay. So they extended the project by 83 months.
Another because
Berapa tahun tu?
six to seven.
So they extended the project 7 years. They extended the amount by another 5 billion for the same number of ships. Is that a problem then? That's a huge problem. Okay. Right. So you know why, right? Out of 6 billion, 5.9 billion went for bribe. Probably. That's why they only have one ship still building. Once they release the ship, straight tenggelam. Okay. Now you understand client. Who's the client? TLDM, Tentera Laut Diraja Malaysia. Are you clear now? Is it? Or maybe it's the Ministry of Defence. MOD, Ministry of Defence. MOD. Okay. Then end user is the Navy lah. Okay. They were competitors for the project, which Malaysia could have easily given the job to a proper company who built a ship before, who got track record of building and making ship, rather than a company that never built a ship before. Okay. Then of course got regulators, never got involved, got suppliers, got community and society, which is why if you go to places like Lumut, there's a huge industry supporting this building of ship. So then you got the environment, and then of course the shareholders. The shareholders in this case is the boosted shareholders. Alright? So that's an example of the situation. Now let's move on. Ethically informed decision making, its impact on stakeholders. Ethical dilemma often arise in the context of project management, especially when it comes to relationship with stakeholders. When you do a project, there will always be a problem with some stakeholders. People may not like a project. People may not be happy with the project. For example, you know Malaysian government, all the area, okay, the traffic is already bad, right?
Yes.
When the traffic is bad, should there be more property development?
No.
Project approved? Yes, no. Answer is no. Because your traffic is already bad, you make some more housing development project in the area. What's going to happen? More people are going to come out to the same jalan, which is already cannot cope with the current stress level, and you didn't prepare any public transport for the area to ease the traffic. That means you shouldn't approve the project. But how come our government, all the MPG, MPK, DBK, all they just keep on approving? No, it's not stupid. It's unethical. They got no. They don't care about people suffer on the road. They just care as long as their pocket get big. Does that make sense? Corruption and bribery is normal. I tell you not. So you need to be aware of ethics. Question mark is the property developer who paid the bribe to get it approved. Does that make sense? Okay. Project sponsors and managers have a critical role to play in the development of ethical practices in the project. They must have ethics. Now, modified version of the American Accounting Association, ethical decision making. Remember the AAA model? What are the 7 steps in the AAA model? Those of you did EG. Passed EG or you tried EG and didn't pass it yet, but doesn't matter. It should be in your head somewhere. Yeah, 7 steps. Okay, what's the 7 steps?
Tak ingat.
Starts with tak ingat.
Ethical question.
Facts.
Okay.
After facts, issue. Ethical issue. Guys. After issue,
Moral value.
norms.
Norms.
Norms. After norms, alternatives. Best. After best, consequences. After consequences, Decision.
Decision.
How come I'm remembering it, you're not remembering it? You know when I taught EG, not? 2019, I think I was teaching EG. Hello guys, what's going on? You are the one who sat for it last sitting on it. Like I said, you know what's the technique I use?
Oh, acronym.
Acronym. So then memorize it, go through it a few times, make sure it sticks in your head and you can recall it on demand. You didn't do all of this right. That's where you got problems. What did you do? When the question come out? Isn't that what you did? Yes, no? Wonderful. That's not how you solve the problem. It's supposed to be, the question comes up, oh, can ABCD? Which is it? You're supposed to do like that. Then you, make sense? If you every question, that means you are asking for trouble. Can? So you have to know your textbook. According to CPA, the textbook is just a backup. It is not the answer. Okay, I can tell you one thing. I did many times already. Same exam paper given to ACCA students closed book, given to CPA students open book. CPA students always score worse. Always score worse. And ACCA was closed book. Same exam paper. Same chapter. Why? They already know they have to remember things, so they go in already prepared. CPA students always go in unprepared. They always believe they can open the textbook on that time and refer. Make sense? It's a mindset. It's a mindset. You just have to change your mindset. Okay, now let's go back here. We go into something called risk. Every project got risk to consider. A project has a risk. Okay. Like you just saw earlier on, the LCS project, what was the risk? I just talked about the LCS project, right? What was the risk?
Time.
Time. What happened?
It's take from.
Suppose you finish in 6 years, now extended to 12 years. Time risk. Cannot finish on time. So the risk is cannot finish on time. Does that make sense? Is that risk present in your CPA exam?
Yes.
Yes. How do you manage that risk? I'll tell you one thing. In the past, I used to do this. I used to make sure I had a different system. I don't use Xerox. I had a different system, which was called Schoology. And inside that system, every question I put 2 minutes. And no backtrack. No backtrack, solve in 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, question move. Cannot go back. Pass rate was much higher. Then that system disappeared from my hand. Once the system disappeared, I'm using Xerox. Xerox only got no backtrack, but the time is unlimited. You know, like 36 minutes means 36 minutes. So student cannot learn how to solve problem fast. So they become slower. So it's about your risk of not finishing on time. How are you going to manage that risk? You have to do what? Time yourself. Time management or time yourself. You need to be something like equalizer. Do you know Equalizer? The movie? You can see Equalizer the movie. I think I better show you the scene that I want you to see. Equalizer scene movie one. Let me see. You don't know if you can get, no? Let's see if you can get, no? What's that scene? You don't remember the scene where he times himself? You ever watch this movie? It's a good movie. You should watch this one. Let me see first. equalizer 1. Let's put first 5. I think it's the first 5. But it's damn slow. Why is the internet so slow today? Just working properly?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I already told you how to use ChatGPT to learn, right?
Yeah.
What's the method? No. Ask it to. I don't know whether you can feed it the textbook. Can you feed it the textbook? It doesn't want to accept the textbook, right? Yeah, that only the paid version can accept. The paid version can accept. The unpaid version, you have to just cut and paste what you want, and then cut and paste the chapter or the area, and ask it to use Socratic method. I told you to use Socratic method. Did you write down the word Socratic method? Socratic method. Make sure you ask it to teach you or explain this using Socratic method. Does that make sense? Or just say, help me understand using Socratic method. Prompt. The prompt is going to be, help me understand using Socratic method. So that method will help you quickly pick up the issues fast. It's a different way of learning, your level of learning. Okay, the internet not coming up. But anyway, let's come to this. Every single thing can be timed, and you manage time. In project management, we call this the Gantt chart and the critical path analysis. Later on, you're going to come to this. Does that make sense? Critical path analysis, drawing this is the costs. You're having to control the costs. So think about it. There is risk about time, risk about cost, risk about quality. Okay, there will always be risk. So the management accountant can help to identify, quantify risk, finding the most economic way of. Okay, the word is transfer the risk. Okay, transfer the risk means you get somebody else to bear the risk. But do be aware, risk mitigation. Okay, there is risk mitigation. I can give you a short form here which I use to remember this area. We call it IARM. Okay, let's go to this. IARM. I stands for identify the risk. A stands for assess the risk. I stands for respond for the risk, or how you manage the risk. Okay, the keyword is response. M stands for monitor the risk, not manage the risk. Monitor. After you implement something, you have to keep on checking. Okay, IARM. Are we okay in IARM? You did study this in your EG, right? Risk management was a major area of your EG, correct? Risk management was a major area in your EG chapters? Yes, no, guys? Guys, you know GSL is EG plus SMA plus FR, right? I repeat again. That's the reason why you're only allowed to take the external exam for GSL if you pass these 3. If this semester you take SMA and FR and not yet pass EG, next semester you confirm cannot take external GSL. Okay, you can only do internal GSL. Just be aware. Alright. Are you taking EG repeat this time? Then next time you can only do EG and CBI. You won't be allowed to do. I mean, you can sign up for the GSL class, but you won't be allowed to take the exam. So be very careful. Every semester I only get about 5 or 4 students going for GSL final exams.
Internal.
External.
But internal have.
Internal banyak lah. External 4 or 5 students only can go. 6 students. Very lucky is 10. Only 10 students can go for external exams. Does that make sense? Not easy to finish CPA. Okay, not. Because the requirement that you have to pass all 3 of these papers. And therefore, the knowledge of GSL is knowledge of all 3 joined together and top up. Does that make sense? Okay, let's move on. So, I said I identify, correct? A, assess the risk. How to assess? You assess by looking at these 2 words. Likelihood or probability. and impact. High impact, low impact. Are you okay? Then you classify the risk. After that, you classify the risk into consider first, consider last, consider second, consider third. Are we okay? Now, when you consider, you need to know how to respond to the risk. Respond to the risk is TARA. Do you know what is TARA? Four actions for managing risk. Guys, that's the four actions you can do for managing risk. Recall. Go back to Dr. Abby's class. Fly back to that time when you were sitting in Dr. Abby's class and closing your eyes and sleeping. Some of the messages went through into your head. Try to recall the risk management chapter. Tara, what do you think it is? How to manage risk? What are the four options? Transfer, avoid, very good. You were sleeping really well. In your sleep, it was all muscle inside already, right? Come on. Reduce. Avoid, you cakap. Transfer, avoid, reduce. Accept. You did study this, right? Yeah, gone out of your mind. Imagine the doctor says that when he's operating. When I cut your heart out, I forgot. Okay, right now, here, so transfer, accept, reduce, avoid. Are you clear the four methods of managing risk? Yes, no. Can, okay. Now, risk identification. What, who, why, how, where, when, how much. These are questions that you will ask to identify risk. Risk identification got FOC, financial, operational, compliance risk. Got it? Sometimes got one more called strategic risk. Financial risk, operational risk, compliance risk, strategic risk. Are we okay? And then you ask this question, say what is it, who is it, all that. Are we okay? Now, risk classification, you follow risk identification. You classify risk as high risk or low risk. Are we okay now? Like consider last is already going to be low risk. Consider first is very high risk. Got it? Risk mitigation, you follow the classification. Okay, done. Now, let's move on. Now, there's something called financial analysis for a single project. You do know how to calculate NPV, yes or no?
Yeah.
Net present value, we already showed you, or I already showed you how to calculate it. You must use something called discount factor or annuity factor. Have you printed out the discount factor table or annuity factor table? Got. You have it ready, right? Is it in your notes right now?
No.
I told you where to get it, right? Ada kan? Okay, good. I have the table ready because you will probably have to use it. Are we okay? Of course, you're supposed to use your calculator. I don't think you're allowed to bring in financial calculator, right? Did they say anything about the calculator? No, okay, never mind. Note for large project, the investment may span several years. Okay, the NPV method is quite an important method. There are other methods to analyze a project. Okay. Now, when we say NPV method, just be aware we are looking at one issue. Hold on 1 second. The screens are the same. Give me a second. Okay, when you calculate NPV, so let me just give you another, I already gave you a calculation before, right? Now, guys, quickly calculate and tell me how much is this. Have I shared you the short notes already with the indexing for this paper? Not yet, right?
No.
Guys, done? Done? Okay, I think you should have done this quite fast. First thing, you should have calculated the WACC. Did you calculate WACC? I think I talked about it yesterday, right? Do you know how to use the formula? Okay. Hold on. So what do you need? Guys, you needed this. You should have asked this. That is 30 million and equity is are you okay? So you needed that first, then only you can get this. WACC will work like this. So 10%. What is the WACC, guys? How much is the WACC, guys? How much? 16.83. Nope. Cannot be 16.83. Definitely lower than 16. Should be somewhere between 16 and 7%. Should be closer to about maybe 10% or 11%, guys.
12.625.
12.625. Yeah, right. Should be about 12.625. Can you get 12.625, guys? Guys, if you can't get it, you got a problem with bot mass. You know what is bot mass, right? Bracket, operator, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. Which one is the order that comes first? Can you get 12 point? How much? 6.35%. I mean, do you all get this? 6.25. Can get or cannot get? You just have to follow the formula I just gave you, right? Can. So we'll put this at are you guys okay? Should I do something in the WhatsApp? Short notes, huh? Okay, now you got this. You should be able to calculate that. You should be able to calculate what? Guys, can calculate, cannot calculate. Here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Zero. Cash flow is how much?
1 million.
Are you okay? You get something like this. I don't know, you choose a table. Did you guys use the table? Yes, no? Done? Done, guys? Now, you should get the... Is there a shortcut way of doing this? Of course there's a shortcut way. And you need to know the shortcut. Why? Because you need to be fast sometimes.
Tak. Ni dia boleh main. Tak yang itu ke tu? Ni 1 pasal 1.85 sama ni. Tu lah. Ni 1 bahagi 1.12. Kita dapat ni. Kalau itu kan dia 1
Okay, 102.
Kiri tu 12.65 1.16 mana pada tu ni dia kira 1 point dia tak tambah itu 12.63 tu lepas tu yang next tu transfer bagi
Guys, you get? Huh? Tak sama, of course tak sama because this one is using Excel. Yours is using calculator at 0.855, right? So if you put 0.855, 0.783, 0.693 and 0.613, the number might be 91,700. Did you get that one?
For discount factor, we need to table or calculate the one.
Use table. You should use table. You should get this number right. 0.855. Check.
0.8.
13%.
Ah.
855.
8850. 0.8850.
Hold on. Let me try that. Use 885. Sorry. The next one 0.783, right?
831.
7.
831.
31 I meant lah. 0.69. 3. 0.613. Are you okay? Okay? Are you all okay? Dapat ke? No worry. Run a little bit, it's okay.
Yes, sir.
Can? Any problems there, guys?
Sir, total balik sir sebelumnya.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I think I shared you all the chapters already. All the chapters and index is given to you already. Are you okay? Let's use that. If you're lazy. Are you okay? Improve on it if you can. Improve on it if you can. Which one? Yeah, this one is 7831, right? I don't know where you get your table. Where did you get your table from? Dari mana? ACCA ke?
Ni, nama security.
Non-executive punya. They use 4 digit or 4 digit ke? 4 means let's use 4 lah. You can use that one, no problem. This one is 850, is it?
Yeah.
I mean, I put that 0.8850. This one is 0.7831. This one is 0.6931, is it? And this one is 0.6133. Okay. This one something wrong already. 0.885. Okay, done. You should get that number. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Are we okay, guys? Can I? Can?
Ya. Ni berat 0.885. Berat tu. Nampak tak?
So for the year one, for the present value, we got 309750.
Year 1, 309?
750.
Rounding lah, rounding. Don't worry about it. The exam, you don't need to worry about it. You make sure you answer park nearby there. Are we okay? Can? Okay, now, you get this ready. Are you okay? You get this ready. Okay, let's move on. There is a shortcut. What's the shortcut?
Entity table.
Use annuity table. You know how to use annuity table to do this? Yes, no. No or don't know? No or don't know? Don't know. Don't know. If you have to use annuity table, the same table will go something like this. You go faster in this one. How you do this? This one will be 100,000. Okay, this one use annuity table 13% for 4 years. What do you get? Use the knowledge equities number. What do you get? 0 point. Knowledge equities annuity table 13% 4 years.
4 years and
3 point.
2.9745.
2.9745. Right, after that, lari dah. Oh, this one is 0.6133. Correct? Are you okay? Can.
Yes, sir.
That's a shortcut way of doing things. Are we okay then?
Yes.
All okay? Can, huh? Can. All okay, good to go. You know how to do this, right? So, if you get an exam question, you don't need to do this one. You may have to do this one. You look at the data first. If the data change year by year, then you do the full statement. If the data allow you to do combination or aggregate the number, then you use the annuity method. Are you okay in this part?
Sir, if you see in the number using annuity,
Yeah, like this one.
how to get 0.6133?
This is a 40 one. 40 will still go to discount factor. The single point. So you go to 40 means go to discount factor. You will mix one, not necessarily it's all annuity. You cannot put, remember the 40 is different cash flow already. Right? Can you see 40 is different cash flow, right? So what I did is I put 1 to 4 at 350. The 40 extra I calculate separate. Okay, are you clear in the approach I use that? The 40 extra I pick it out and so on. Now do remember, you will have to do this calculation. Okay? Now the other calculation you may have to do is calculate IRR. How do you calculate IRR, guys?
Another PV that negative.
To find the NPV that's negative, correct? How do you find the NPV that's negative?
Estimate the WACC.
Estimate the WACC. How do you estimate the WACC? No, you don't estimate the WACC. You estimate the point where it becomes negative. How?
Using the higher cost of capital.
Again, if you were to look at it, you would actually be like, oh, that's not so complicated, but I'll just show it to you one way or another. It's always linear programming. Guys, it's always linear programming. Alright, there's a graph. I'm going to put this one is going to be NPV. Are you okay? So NPV positive, NPV
Negative.
negative. To get IRR, you need to know This one is NPV, I already told you. Okay, that's NPV sitting there, alright? And you have on this side is called the rate. Are we clear? This side will be low rate, this side will be high rate. At lower rate, just change the color of that one to be a different color. Okay, at lower rate the NPV is positive. At higher rate the NPV become negative. Where is IRR? IRR is here. That spot. Are you clear? That's where IRR sits. Are you clear?
Yes.
IRR is the point of intersection. Are you okay? So, therefore, to estimate IRR, we have to do high rate and get a negative NPV, and a low rate and get a positive NPV. Are we okay? So I'm just gonna draw a line here. Let's say we get one negative and positive NPV, which is over here, and we get one negative NPV, which is over here. Let me just do that again. Now you don't need to know this, it's just for your understanding of logic, alright? Okay guys, can you see what's happening here? I get a triangle. Are you okay? I get a triangle. Can you estimate this spot by using this triangle? Okay, I ask again. Can you estimate how much is this line based on the big line? Let me repeat that again. Can you estimate how long is this line based on this line? Can estimate or cannot estimate? What principle are you using?
Pythagoras.
No, Pythagoras is different. That one is that is the figuring out this line, the whole line. This one is proportionate triangle. This triangle, the length here will be proportionate to this length, to this length, to this length. They follow proportions. Are you okay in this part? You did study this in maths. This is still maths. You did. This triangle, how long is this triangle, is based on proportion of this to this, this to this. There is something called proportion. Are you okay? There is a proportion. Follow. So, what is this? Low rate. This one is? High rate. What is this called? Positive NPV? Negative NPV. Are you okay? So this one here is called positive NPV alone, correct?
Yes.
This one here is the gap between the whole NPV, positive and negative. Am I right? Okay. I'm going to just show you this. I'm going to calculate one negative NPV. How do I calculate one negative NPV? Okay, let's try 20%, guys. Try 20%. You got 20%, no? Okay, what's the number for 20%? No, annuity factor for 1 to 4 years.
1 to 4 years.
20%. How many percentage it goes?
1.5887.
15887. 1588.
2.5.
2.5.
887.
So different.
2.5887. Down here, 0.4823.
0.4823.
Okay, now guys, did you notice what I just did? This is how many percent?
20.
Okay, yeah? This is? This one is?
30.
Okay, now pay attention. I got 113, 120, correct? I got one positive, one
Negative.
negative. So I'm going to put the numbers in. The negative is how much? Just tell me the number. Take this down, ready? Take this down, guys. I'm just going to copy this and put it here. Okay guys, you see the number already, right? So right now, I can now plug in these numbers a bit. How much is this? 102,
406.
406. Are you okay in this part?
Yes.
And what's the rate?
13.
So we can say this one is going to be 13, 102, 406. Am I right? This one is 20.
13. Negative 2.
Hold on. So the NPV is positive here. The rate is low, correct? Here the NPV is higher, the rate is high, and you got
Negative.
negative 45725. Are you okay? Can? Any questions so far? We know this number is how much? 13%, correct? This one is 102, 406. Here is negative 45725. Yes, no?
Yes.
Any questions there? You clear? Can, huh? So to estimate IRR, I just need to know how much is the gap here. Are you clear? But I know the gap here, right? How much is the gap here? The difference between these two? 13 minus 20. So here is how many percent? 7. Good. Okay, just make a note there. So this is going to be 7. Alright, guys? Okay. How much is the gap between this and this? The full length? 1. The difference is going to be 148. 121. You know how to get the number, right, guys? 1? 31. You know how to get the number, right? 102, 406 plus 45. Right there? So I got the whole line here. I got this whole line already. I also got this small line here. I just need to estimate how much is this line. Can you estimate? Let's see your mathematics kick in now. Your mathematics kick in now. Proportionate, right? Nisbah bersama, nisbah dia sama. So, how? You got a formula that goes like this, I repeat, So rate plus NPV positive over, notice the formula, positive minus now pay attention to the formula. You'll now understand the formula very fast. Times high rate minus low rate. Can you see that it's taking a proportion? So the formula goes like this lah. We know that it's 13%, right? Plus, you know high rate minus low rate is 7%, right?
Yes.
Times with nisbah. Okay? 102, 406 is up here. 102,
40.
406. Divide by 148, 131. That's all. You get the formula now? What do you get? Okay, so what theory are we using? We're just using an estimation theory using triangle. Are you okay? It's an estimate, it's not really accurate. I'll tell you why it's not really accurate. I'll tell you why it's not really accurate. It's reasonable estimation. Reasonable estimation. What's your answer? Remember, you did this in FM using a formula equals IRR. You cannot do that in this paper. Are you clear? Remember, the final exam is in paper based. Okay guys, how much is it? So I'm actually just calculating I'm just calculating this distance here. Can you see this distance? From here to here. Can you see that part? I'm just calculating this distance. This is 13%. I need to know how much is this one. So remember, 13% is here, correct? I need to plus to find this line, right? This line should be proportion, okay? 7 should be based on the proportion of these two, correct? The small triangle, big triangle theory. If there is a triangle within a triangle, they will follow a proportion. Are you okay? Can you get the answer? Guys, anybody? Like Apple calculate, Apple, the new Apple, you just write, automatically calculate for you. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
You just copy, you just draw like that, and then once you draw already, you can start adjusting. You'll start adjusting the rates. You can move the triangle up and down, all that. Okay. Anybody got that? You don't have it. Anybody got? 0 point? 13 point? I don't think so. No?
70.84.
Better. 17.839%, or also known as, well, we can say 18%. Are you okay? Guys, how did you get 13 point something? Mathematical formula error. Guys, you got a lot of problem with botmas, Very dangerous, You're going to make careless mistakes, What did you do? I need to know your mistake. What did you do? What did you do? Tell me exactly what you did. I need to learn your mistake. What did you do?
I take the number that you
13% plus 7% times 102,406 divided by 148,131. You type straight, is it?
I solve the percentage first.
This is what? 7% times 102 times 148. 13% plus 7%.
30%.
So 20%. Wonderful. I know how to trap you in the future. I'm thinking what was your mistake so that I can now repeat it so that I can give the answer for you. Okay. I know your mistake now. You have BODMAS problem. You know multiply must be done before plus y. Guys, you know your BODMAS, right? BODMAS. Multiply before addition and subtraction. What you did was you add first, then you multiply. You went in the wrong order already. Okay, now I know how to kill you in the exams. You know I'm evil, right? Anytime you make a mistake, I get excited. Okay, guys, any questions? Okay, so we're done with this one. Can I move on? So you know how to calculate IRR already, right? And do you understand what is IRR? Do you understand what is IRR now? IRR is just a estimation of when the NPV become zero. In other words, break even. IRR is just break even. Break even rate. So as long as your break even rate is higher than the WACC, good. If the break even rate is below the WACC, bad. Make a note. Okay, can I move on? So we already calculated IRR. Are we okay? We already calculated IRR. Okay? Can I move on to another calculation? Can I move on? Okay. IRR, you okay, already, right? Okay. There's another word here, profitability index. How to calculate profitability index? You want to have a break, is it? Roy, are you scared to ask me? I'm not going to send you to hell, don't worry. So in this case, how much is the amount? Okay, if using 13%, yeah, if using 13%, are you okay? I need to go back and check these numbers again. Okay, if using 13%, okay, I'm just going to take these numbers one more time. We're still down here using these funny numbers one more time. I'm just going to do this, so that you can see it a bit. Okay, so this one combine. You guys okay? Can? Okay, that's 102. This one is just put it in 1. So the PI is going to become that divided by that. So this one you're going to get about. Okay, are you okay this part? Yeah, it's going to be how much? Wrong. If you use the R1, what are you going to get? use 14% or 20%, can it be? You okay now? Can? Okay, so you know this one can accept, this one is reject.
Reject.
0.954. Fine. Any questions there so far? Clear? Okay, done? Of course, there's payback. You know how to calculate payback? Okay, I will let you calculate payback after a break. Are you okay? Alright, take about 15 minutes. Are you okay, guys?
Yes. Oh, dah lagi.
Mentally burnt out already. After FR, you already finished your IFRS 15. Here kena all the payback lah, IRR lah, all this lah. Anyway, you need to know how to calculate IRR and NPV because it's one of the things required for IFRS 9. Later on, you got to calculate IFRS 9, IFRS 16. All of it uses the same formula. Got it? Okay, take 15. Hello. Boleh. Sudah sampai ke? Sudah sampai, okey. Okey ya. Bentar.
Kenapa? Ya, untuk itu gimana?
You saw the thing I sent to you already? Or you already have it already?
Not yet.
Ada.
Oh, okay. Bayar. Bayar. Campur betul.
Aku sekarang ada penimuan. Tolong aku sikit. Campur. Campur. Oh, sejuk biasa. Sejuk mana tu?
Jadi sangat kan?
Itu mimpi ke?
Hah?
Itu bukan mimpi.
Kenapa minum Milo?
She always give me answer.
Mana ada?
Lihat lah. Lihat lah.
You all been studying this in your FM?
Yes.
But use Excel. So that's the thing.
That's the problem. The lecturer seems to be unaware that
You just click and then already.
You just click and drag.
Yeah. You do. Kau tengok apa? Ya.
when you study FM,
Oh, long time.
year 1 or year 2? Year 3?
Year 3, yeah.
Year 3, right?
Sampel
Apa saya lupa tu?
Ni saya lupa. Saya lupa je. Asyik saya lupa je FM.
Pakai Excel.
I should answer the questions.
Yeah, you should, huh?
Begini Excel saya lain.
Easy pass.
Easy teori tu.
Credit ke pass?
Pas only.
Macam mana you belajar? Ada pakai nota tak?
Pakai ChatGPT.
Ha?
Simplify using ChatGPT.
Simplify you can do right.
Okay. Minggu ni kau tak balik ke?
Okay.
Tak balik. Tak balik minggu ni. Minggu depan. Dah, lepas tu minggu depan lagi. Balik lah.
Ya.
Kita minggu depan. Kita balik minggu depan.
What accounting standard you finish today in FR?
Bagi pun 15.
FR still finish today. Set experiment. Kamu, I saw
Tadi IFRS 50.
FR 16? 16 belum, research. Research in module 1 what?
Sis minum tak teringat sebab dia cakap bukan sebab dia kata terlalu susah, so macam takut tak cover.
Tak susah sangat, but you just have to remember formula. One formula. Just write the formula and keep in your hand. Just write the formula and keep in your hand, cukup.
Sebab kan IFRS 1 bukan IFRS 1 pula, module 1 kan ada 4 IFRS kan. So yang all the 4 is not complicated as we learn in FAR before. So Midem tak nak terkekas sangat sebab takut dia
Actually, the real exam is what? The real exam is Kamaka. It looks simple here in module 1, But in real exam, it is hard. So you come back and say, oh, very hard question. Sebab itu dia cakap, sebenarnya apa yang dia buat, kan dia EG. Bila you play EG, the real exam, dia cakap, oh, some 10% ni, but you see got a lot more percent, more question come out, susah-susah. And so that they say, oh, banyak tak keluar. And then you go like, I emphasize here, but that one come out more. It's your luck lah. It's your luck. Depend on your luck. So, very hard. Tak tahu tu, habis tadi 5. IS-60, IS-1, IS-8.
ISS module 2.
Modul 2.
Aman, list dah belajar. List dah belajar. Ya.
Dah habis ke?
Cantik dari resource house.
Dah kan?
Tapi bila kan tak tekan sangat kan?
Kalau nak further makan, tengok
Yeah, made them give a lot of small recording, short recording.
That's the reason.
Yeah, she said, watch the recording. So, do you take CPA, sir? Do you take CPA or ACCA? Long time ago.
I teach ACCA, I teach.
No, your, I mean your
What I
study,
take,
yeah.
what I study ACCA.
ACCA, yeah. So ACCA is much more harder to compare to CPA, right?
Yeah. ACCA
So
is harder.
ACCA you pass all first attempt.
I didn't pass all in one attempt. I took because the first 3 papers, actually I got 4 plus 4 plus 6 paper.
4
4 plus 4 plus 6, 14 paper I must pass. So the first paper I take, I got exempted. I don't need to take the exam because I just simply go take another exam for fun. For fun, I take an exam, and that paper I took exempted one of the ACCA papers. So I was lucky lah. So I only had to study 3 papers. So I studied the 3 papers, self-study with my friend. I dan kawan saya je belajar. Kita tak pergi kelas semua like that. Then we just bounce idea and all that, study, and then I passed the first 3 paper.
Wow.
So then I thought, gung-ho, I can pass everything again. So I go and self-study again for the next 2 papers. But I also started working as an accountant already. Tak ada masa lah, so I managed to take 2 papers. One I passed, one I failed. Then after that, I berhenti kerja, go to college. So by the time I went to college already, I already had about 3 years working experience.
Oh, understood.
And I'm only 20.
Wow.
Okay, at that time. So when I went to college, 20, then I passed everything one shot.
Wow.
So I finished by 21. By 21 done already. I started lecturing at 21.
21.
I was already lecturer by 21. That time masa tu they don't care what. You got ACCA half pun dia ambil.
Then your
Student all diploma je.
umur 19.
18, 19 lah. Ada yang 20, 22, ada 25. There's one class when I went in, I was 23 at that time. I went to a class. That was a part-time class. There was about, everybody was 35, 32, 33. So when I went into the class, all the students tutup buku.
Tutup buku.
Macam like, oh ada budak kecil datang.
Oh.
All go like that. Semua macam ni. Sebab all adult lah. Then I just mula ajar, then they all like. So I was back then. Anyway, why
Yes.
My God, ini. Kisi body lagi.
Yes.
Okay, are we okay at this part? Yes, no? Can Okay. The next part that you got here is basically payback. You know how to calculate payback?
Yes.
How to calculate payback?
The cash flow,
Yep, you have to do cash flow. How?
negative cash flow plus.
So you go like this. Year 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you have to put the cash flow in. Okay. How much is the original cash flow? Cash flow. So here we put minus 100,000. Here is going to be
350.
so I'm going to put like this, and I'm going to put cumulative cash flow. You don't need all of that, then you can just put this number here. And this number is supposed to be 350. One is
150.
150, and therefore this one is going to be. Guys, okay, this one, yes, no? Okay. This one, jump here, jump here. Okay, done, break even. No need to go here. Okay, guys, okay, this? Okay.
Okay. 2 years.
So answer is going to be how much? How many years is the break even?
2 years.
So break even is going to be not pay break even. This is pay
Payback.
is 2 years plus 300,000 divided by 350. Are you okay? So you should get 2.85
85.
years. Okay, are we okay? This yes, no. Okay. Well, there is something called ROI and residual income. I hope you know how to calculate ROI. Just return over investment. So that's your profit divided by your investment. Sometimes we use something called ARR, accounting rate of return. Do you know how to calculate accounting rate of return? I got to teach you, right? Last class I got to teach you, right? Okay, do it now. Last class I already taught you. Please look at the formulas I gave you last class. Okay, let me also take your attendance.
Yeah.
Today is the 9. No, today is the 9. Today 9? No, today is 10 already, right? 10, right? 11 07 2024. Afiq, Aiman, Destiny, Airia, Noaini, Shafika, Atira, Galila.
Kena buat ni semua kau.
I always silap dia dengan dia. Medicare pun saya biasa ke?
Yelah, dia manager pun selalu tukar saya dengan Laila. Nama, cuma kan nama.
Yalah, kenapa? Ha? Why is that problem happening? Ha? Something wrong somewhere. Your name got problem lah. Laila. Okay. Ifa? Kalis? Jazwani is here. Ainina is here. Alia?
Dia masih balik pun.
Oh, dari Kalis.
Dia position lah.
Laila tu.
Straight value.
Okay. Siti Aisyah. Mimi.
Ya, alpha tu minum.
All came today. Okay, very good. Okay guys, payback done. Are you calculating ARR?
On the way.
So, okay, my today.
Ah,
Okay, my today.
apa tu?
Semua datang kan?
Ya, semua datang kan? Ini boleh misak.
Saya?
No.
Afiq, Aiman, Isma.
Saya.
Mana Isma? Oh. You told me earlier, right? Who told me earlier you're coming late? Oh, she told me earlier you're coming late. How's your team? Okay? Did they pull it up?
No.
3 months later, you need to do what?
I need to kill it because my teeth grew inside the gum.
Oh,
So,
have to do operation?
yeah, I need to go first.
You're going to cut here, is it?
Huh?
You're going to cut here?
Here.
Okay, not so bad. The worst one is they cut here. You know they cut here for wisdom tooth, right? Here, they might cut here. Yeah, then you got one scar here. Like you went for a fight. No, you had wisdom tooth operation before? Sometimes they cut here. Depends on your luck lah. You get unlucky, they cut you in the wrong place. Okay guys, are you done with ARR?
No.
What is this? You're supposed to be like super fast. There's a game I play in my VR set. You know there's a game called Super Fast? Huh?
Super shy.
Apa super what?
K-pop.
Super Shell, is it? I think it's Super Shell, right? Is it Super Shell? Yeah, where you have to move very fast and tembak and then kill people. Wait, are you sure you're talking?
Strike.
You don't know what I'm talking about, are you? Super. I think Super Shark. Super. What's that game, huh? No, not that song. Super Fast, is it? Game, is it? Is it Super Fast? No, not that. What is the name of the game, huh?
Candy Crush.
Let me see. What are the VR games in Pico? Super Hot. Ni. Have you played this game before? No, you haven't played this game. It's a simple game. Yeah?
Dettol.
Not that all. Oh my god, it doesn't want to let me stop the advertisement. It's playing all the way. Does it know that I have a classroom? I have to consider. Oh my god.
No premium lah.
Hey, Momo is okay now. I didn't buy premium, man. Momo is okay. No? You should probably set up a Momo account.
That's a good answer.
Berapa kali dia nak ni?
So you should install a Google.
Buy premium also.
That is the game. You're playing in VR.
What is that?
It's like you are slow-mo. You act in slow-mo. Like you take a gun and you have to move left and right and then you never played this game before?
It's like Counter-Strike.
No, it's not like Counter-Strike. This game is where you put the headset.
Oh, saya ada.
Ada.
Ui, kaya ni.
No, I dapat birthday present. Isteri saya begitu saya.
So you play Beat Saber?
Huh?
Beat Saber.
Boring. So this game is kind of hard lah. The system is one. This one's good. Boxing. The boxing is very tiring. I only can go like 10 minutes and mati dah. The maximum I can go 10 minutes. Okay, but this type of game is what I'm saying. Like you might have to do that lah. Be fast. You have to adjust. Okay, now let's get back to this one. There we go. Have you calculated your ARR? Kena fast ni. Fast. Cepat. Never mind, I will train you to get faster. I think I know a way. Why is Aisyah so tension here? Aisyah, apa dia jadi Aisyah? What is the problem Aisyah? Apa dia jadi gelak-gelak Aisyah? Ainina, apa itu?
Aisyah brings still in FR.
Oh, Aisyah brings still in FR, is it? Apa ya, Madam Chong cakap? Aisyah, what did Madam Chong say to you? Did she say something? You have to be faster.
No.
Have you all watched Kaiju number 8? Macam? You all don't like Japanese anime, right? Huh? You like or don't like? Japanese anime?
Jadi Japanese anime. Yeah.
Then you should watch Kaiju number 8. It's a very good film. I can't rate it very high. Are you done?
Huh? Itu kita tahu tu tak?
Apa asyik bilang tu?
Because your calculations got problem, I have to go slower. Your calculation fast means then I go faster. Done. Aisha, focus. Why are you getting so distracted? What are you looking at that you're getting so distracted? Mental problem.
Aku begini.
Aisha, got mental problem?
No, not me.
Okay, okay. Cash. Did you get this already? So, how much is the cash in?
You betul lah.
What happened? You got it wrong, is it? Guys, you got to be super fast. Okay? Investment is scrap this. Are you okay there, guys? Can?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Are you okay there? Can, huh? Therefore, ARR is
$22.
so this one is 125000. This one is
22.73.
yep. Are you clear?
Yes.
Whereas RI is something like this. There's something called capital cost. Capital cost is going to be 1 million times, earlier on we said 13%, right?
So capital cost 1 million times 50%.
WACC. Cost of capital. Are you okay this one now? RI is profit minus capital cost, capital charge. Got it? Any questions there, guys? I hope that covers all of the issues that you need to calculate. Do remember, this one is called accounting base. Okay, accounting base got problem. What's the problem? Check and see the notes I shared you got now. Check the notes I shared you got now. Check the notes I shared you got problem now for accounting base. Got? Edited? Are you okay? Can I more?
Oh.
Are you guys okay? Now, I think you've done the calculation. Do expect this calculations in the next test. The next test will have module 3 plus module 4. Next test. Maybe module 2 also. Module 2 I put video for you, you finish watching and come.
Loh,
No.
mana boleh?
Apa tak boleh?
Tak boleh.
But the fields we need to teach.
Yeah, it's me teaching.
It's not the same.
Not the same.
Got
We
more
aim for
distracted.
No, that one got no distraction.
don't too much module in one class. We need like slow pace, medium, and then fast.
Can you ask CPA to do the same thing? Don't test me one shot. Don't negotiate with CPA. You can negotiate with CPA, I'm okay. I will change my style. You tell CPA lah, don't test me one shot. You test lah module 1, 2. Then next year you test me module 3, 4.
Siapa nak minta?
Okay, right. Move on. You can negotiate with CPA, I agree with you.
Kita tebal rambut dulu.
Okay, let's move on to the next part. So this one's over here. We're coming to another area called financial analysis. Before I go to financial analysis, there are another idea you should be aware of.
Tak buka lagi.
Risk in projects. Risk in projects. Remember, there's something called risk in projects. We use something called sensitivity analysis. You all know what sensitivity analysis, right? That's one. Risk in project sensitivity analysis. Another one that they use is something called scenario analysis. Do you all know the scenario analysis, guys? What is scenarios, guys?
Story.
So there are two ways you handle risk in the project. One of it is called scenario analysis. Are we okay in this part? The other one is called sensitivity analysis. There are two ways you can include risk in a project. Sensitivity is like you change maybe the price. How sensitive is the price to the project acceptance? How sensitive is the investment to the project decision? So how much the investment change cause a problem? How much the let's say the price change causes a problem? Now sensitivity analysis is a critical accounting skill. When you do impairment, when you do IS 36 impairment at work, you have to perform sensitivity analysis and do multiple scenarios. Are you clear? Before the impairment is acceptable. So when you do work, your ability to do scenarios and come up with the numbers is very, very significant. By the way, you all know how impairment is calculated, right? IS 36 value in use, how do you calculate it?
Did we use the CGU?
IS-36, how do you calculate value in use? You did finish IS-36 already, right? Finish studying already, right? Yes or no? Ifa, kau belajar ke? Modul mana? Part 4 ada. Tuan dah belajar kan? Very good. Macam mana buat? Value in use. Forgot. Wait, you're year 4, you know, not year 1. Year 4 medical student cannot say that, like, I forgot where's the heart. Year 4 accounting student. You're supposed to be the pro of the accounting. Pro. Hello. Guys, how to do impairment test? Huh? You're supposed to do a 5-year NPV analysis like what I just did. And you have to change all the variables, the price, the cost, everything related to the asset. The cash flow from the asset, discounted for 5 years. With the assumption the 5th year is disposal year. Doesn't matter, it's going to be used for 10 years or so. 5th year is always disposal year. You assume dispose on the 5th year. Does that make sense? Discounted at what rate? Risk related to the asset, which is called, you did study CAPM, right? Capital Asset Pricing Model. You did study asset beta, equity beta. You studied, right? Yeah, you're supposed to know all of that. That's supposed to be applied here. Got it? Clear? That's supposed to be applied inside there to determine how to discount it, what rate to discount. It's very complex. It's like heart surgery, by the way. No, I'm not joking. IS-36 is like heart surgery. The level of difficulty is very high. Okay, not easy actually. Okay, so same thing. When you do IS-36, you have to do scenario analysis. You must prepare multiple scenarios. Scenario 1, scenario 2, if the price go up, price go down, all of that. You have to do multiple scenario. You see the outcome for multiple scenarios same or not? Okay, so in project also we do scenario analysis. Example of scenario analysis is undertaken by Shell. Let's see, where is the Shell? Where did they go? Yeah, this one. Which one you want to listen? This one or this one? You want the Asian version or the English version?
English.
Asian or English? Come on.
English.
Okay, I'll give you the Asian version.
When it comes to modeling scenarios, I suppose we're like a team of window cleaners, cleaning the windows for our colleagues who confront a future which is unknown and uncertain. We set the context in which they can envisage how their decisions might play out. Let me be clear. Scenarios are stories about the future, but they're not predictions. They're about understanding where we are today and exploring what could happen in the future. Stretching our imagination and challenging our perception, bringing into view possibilities that we might not have previously considered or understood. Pierre Vark, the first head of the Shell Scenarios team, called this the gentle art of reperceiving. Pierre believed that through reperception, we can pick out elements of the future that have already happened, but whose implications have yet to unfold. He called these elements inevitable surprises. Pierre's analogy was the Ganges River. When you see heavy monsoon rain at the upper part of the basin, you can anticipate with certainty that the Ganges will flood 2 days later at Rishikesh, further downriver. and it's numbers that provide the backbone logic and rigor to these future possibilities.
The numbers are critical for understanding what the scenario really means for the energy system. How big is big, or how fast is fast? I led the development of our world energy model, which we use for our projections of the energy system. And as I see it, the most important role of the model is to keep us honest, to make sure our scenario story all adds up consistently. What we seek to achieve is a suitable balance where the model can test the scenario story as well as reflect it. For example, if a scenario story involves stronger efficiency drives, the modelling would typically point to lower energy prices as a result. But evidence from the past shows that humans are often wasteful when things are very cheap. Unlike some modelling approaches, we're not seeking to find the cheapest pathway to a desired outcome. We're starting from the drivers in place today and want to recognise that there are very many different actors with different interests, different tastes, and it's by going into the details that one can sometimes uncover plausible breaks in the trends ahead. Scenarios are about looking for turning points. The world energy system is heavily linked, and as a result, changes in one part of the world can affect another, particularly through the price mechanism. For example, the German investment in solar panels has lowered the price for everyone, and breakthroughs in shale gas in America have affected oil, gas, and coal prices, as well as trade flows worldwide.
A good storyteller does not challenge you directly, but takes you on a narrative journey, following the flow of events and compelling you to listen. Stories make sense of how these events develop and are memorable in a way that dry facts cannot be. Scenarios succeed when managers respond to their message. A compelling story connects with us on an emotional level to make us believe in the scenario. As human beings, we're therefore more likely to act on its implications. Telling the story is therefore intrinsic to scenarios.
Right, there is a professor, you all know about, I got to show you this professor, right? Ask one. No. Ask one. This professor. You can go find his YouTube. He's an American professor in New York Stern University, and every year he likes to give his class free online. So whatever he's teaching in US, every year he put the class for his MBA all inside here. Got it? So you can go through a US university class free if you are interested in investment banking. This professor, remember, you do this, your mind will change because you're getting lectured by an American professor. Their way of teaching is different. Alright? So, let's come back to this one, scenarios. You create a scenario, you plan for the scenario. For example, when you started CPA, did you have a scenario that you might fail?
Yes.
Did you plan a contingency plan? What was your contingency plan? No external, is it? Now, the problem with that contingency plan, some of you have conditions with your scholarship. You don't have, you're lucky. You have conditions with your scholarship. How are you going to negotiate your way out of it? You should have planned for it because you already prepared a contingency, correct? You should then review your contract properly. What did you sign? Who has the contract? Do you have the contract?
Yes.
Go and read it term by term, condition by condition. You need to see how you can escape clause. There's always an escape clause if you're a good lawyer. There's always a way to find the way around it. And there's a way to negotiate the way around it. Does that make sense? But you need to be a very good legal mind. That's why you're supposed to have studied contract law. The whole idea of studying contract law is to look at each contract and understand what you signed. Not blindly sign and now regret. Now you're like, oh my God, I have to pay back. Okay, now, so scenarios mean you change a lot of assumptions. Sensitivity means you just change one variable. Okay? Right, let's move on to the next part. You have something called financial analysis for multiple projects. When you have multiple projects, the calculation is quite straightforward. You take the NPV, you divide by the annuity factor. Got it? You take the NPV, divide by the annuity factor. So in this case, the EAC for the previous project is how much? The project I just did, do the same calculation for 13% and 20%. How much is the EAC, guys? Remember these calculations? Yes, no? Do the same calculation at 20% and 13%. What do you get? So the way to calculate is what? NPV times 0, correct? NPV times 0. So how much is it? EAC equals to 102. How much? 102. 406. Divide by annuity factor for 4 years, which we already got here, is how much? 2.9745. Got it? $2.9745. Okay, you would have a number there. The next one, EAC 20%. Assuming there were 2 projects, this number was negative 45725, correct? 45725 divided by what's the annuity factor here? 2.5887. Got it? Now, of course, this is not the way you do it, because this one is supposed to be used for 2 different projects. Are you clear? You're comparing 2 different projects. Remember, different time frame. Different time frame. Are we clear? So how much is this? How much you get here? This one you get?
3, 4, 2, 7.
2, 7. And here you get minus 19, is it? Minus
17.
minus 666, is it?
3.
Okay. Are we okay in which one is a better project? Of course 13% is a better project, but 20%. Okay, no. But that's how you compare the numbers. Are you clear? Okay. So management accountant can help decision maker by preparing reports and compare financial, non-financial rewards, difference of risk, assess strategic alignment. Now EAC is called equivalent annual cash flow. That means every year how much you get. You're converting the number to yearly. Follow? Okay. It's a technique that's been devised to compare financial returns of project with, okay, keyword here is this one. See this one? So you must know when to use this. When do you use EAC? When you have different projects with different life, 3-year, 4-year, 5-year, 6-year project, or different risk, Moderate risk, high risk, low risk. Are you clear or not? Follow, don't follow. So you must know when to use it. Otherwise, you just use NPV. If same risk, same life, use NPV. Remember? Same risk, same life, use NPV. If different risk, different life, then use EAC. Okay, clear? Are you clear when to use EAC? Can I? Okay. Right, so the calculation is done, so you're done with this part. Now the next part we're looking at is management accountant role in project management. The idea of project management tools. Okay, let's look at project management tools. Over here, project planning steps. Okay, the first step, you describe, then you develop, you decide, and then you complete. Now, describe the activity and the tasks that need to be done to achieve the project objective. What you must do to achieve the project objective. This should be detailed as possible, and include all required resources and responsibilities. So we list down all the things that you need for the project. Then develop a project budget. You come up with a budget and schedule when you do things from the detailed work plan. Then you decide on how to monitor the project, when you're going to check the project, when you're going to review the project, what reports you're going to do, and then you complete the project. Project completion is done. Now, one of the tools that we use is called a Gantt chart. I think you've seen this before. You prepared it at a lower level, yes or no? So you prepare a Gantt chart for which issue? Time. Managing time and managing activities. Which activity need to be done first? Which activity need to be done later? Then you have another one called PERT. Okay, PERT is basically when you start a project, you need to know which activity goes where, sequence. So you need to draw this, and also known as a critical path analysis. You need to analyze this and figure out which activity is on the critical path. Critical path is the one that must be finished on time. Not on critical path, got something called slack. Okay? On critical path, no slack. Not on critical path, got slack. Slack means can delay a bit. Okay? Now, to estimate the amount of time needed for an activity, we use this formula. Pessimistic, most likely, optimistic. Okay? Let's go through this. Pessimistic. Now, I told you you have to prepare for a test next class. Module 2, Module 3. How long you need to prepare?
1 week.
1 week. And it's by next Tuesday you're ready. Am I right? Is it Tuesday? No, next Wednesday, right? By next Wednesday you're ready, right? This is what? Most likely you can be ready?
No.
Optimistic? The most optimistic? The pessimistic one?
Pessimistic.
Pessimistic means you finish next year. Understand this part? The amount of time you need is like next year, alright? Optimistic like you finish tomorrow itself. Are you clear now? Understand what is optimistic. Optimistic is faster finishing. Pessimistic is later finishing. Are you clear now? You take more time. Most likely is what you expect to finish. So you think you can finish it in 7 days is most likely. You think you can take about 15 days is pessimistic. You think you can take 3 days is optimistic. Does that make sense? Normally, students are very optimistic at the start of the semester. They're like, I can finish everything. 2 weeks enough lah. I study just for 2 weeks before I go for the final exam. Is that sound of correctness? No. You took how many weeks to prepare? 1 week only, yeah. How long? How long you took to prepare? Be careful lah. E.g., I guarantee you, E.g., ChatGPT can help. SMA FR is hopeless. Can help, but it's very dangerous. You know why, right? ChatGPT is useless when it comes to numbers. It messes up 90% of the time. You get everything confused, mix up everything Roja and give it to you, you also become Roja. Then I'll be seeing you being sold in the mamak shop there. You know, chop, chop, chop. out. So now be careful when you are using ChatGPT for theory subjects, it's reasonably acceptable because it does process the language faster. But when it's dealing with numbers, it gets haywire. So be very careful with ChatGPT on numbers. Chapter 2, all use it. Chapter 2, that's theory, use it. Where there's number, you have to sit down and spend time to prepare for that. I'm going to alert you to this. I've tried ChatGPT many times. It messes up like crazy when it comes to number questions. I asked it to generate questions for me. Always messes up like crazy when it comes to number questions. Clear? But it kind of produces reasonably good theory questions, which I use in the exam. Okay, I know what you are thinking. I'm going to take everything from knowledge equity, right? That's what you're hoping, right? Yeah. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tell you that right now. All the tests will not be from knowledge equity. They'll come from variable sources. Guys, I'll give you a heads up. Because a lot of times, it was like, I prepare everything in knowledge equity. I get for my senior. I prepared everything. I should know what's coming up for the quizzes. Yes, no? That's what happened in EG, right? Yes, no? Be honest, don't worry, I know you. You know me, I know you I know all the universal students behave. My son is doing the same thing. He's an MMU. His lecturers are doing the same thing. And I told you, where do I come from? Where do I come from? A place called hell. I'm thinking of dragging you to hell. Yes. So please be ready. The strategy of preparing for knowledge equity, good. Please do prepare with knowledge equity. Go through all the questions. Some of the questions may be same, but not exactly the same. I will modify the question, but about 80% of the questions come from different sources, but same style. So if you have the knowledge equity, you printed it out, good for you. Please review it, go through it nicely, okay? But don't hope too much. Okay, now let's move on. So this is this analysis. This next analysis that you have here is going to be project scheduling and something called critical path method. Okay, project scheduling. Now before I go to this project scheduling, I do need you to look at this part. Go to your textbook, look at this one. Now, over here you can see something called activity. You can see activity. Activity, and then got start date, finish date, right? Yes, no? They got start date, finish date. This is quite tricky, you have to figure this out, and you have to learn it properly. There are start dates, finish dates, and you need to figure out how long it takes to do each of the activity. Okay, it should become something like this. So the chart that you saw in the PowerPoint is basically derived from this story. Does that make sense? Okay. I don't know whether you did any of these charts in school. You know, you participated in some weird projects when you're in school, right? Like carnival. Yeah, did you all do that in school?
Hari Sukan.
Hari Sukan is biasa lah. You know, the interact club or some funny clubs that you were in. You all had never had any clubs? Which school did you go to? Home school. And they have zero projects. I agree. My two children also homeschooled. They didn't have any projects. All the projects they did was mine. Okay, the rest of you, normal school, got project, right? Homeschool also. Then? Fully residential school. That means there's no club. And then each club didn't have activities? Got right. Did they have any projects? Like derma lah, project makan lah, this. Did they have that?
We have a project which is outreach. Which is involved chemistry, physics and biology, so the student have to teach the other student from other states.
That's a very hard project. The blind leading the blind. That's a very hard project. Okay, but anyway, the rest of you had, right? Yes, no? In school? No, wait. Something is wrong here. Why is it going to pretend? Oh, your school was during the COVID period, right?
No lah.
Your Form 4, Form 5 was during COVID, is it?
No.
After or before COVID?
Before.
Then you should have done something in school. What? You didn't join any club and didn't have any charity day,
God.
and you decided to cook things and put on a stall and sell it and hope people buy your food. Did you do all of that? Yes, right. That's a project lah. That's like the project that you have to organize, and you have to get everything organized to do things. I cannot. Did you have also known thing as something called project for assignment in the year 1, year 2, year 3? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes, of course you had project. Were you in a project group? You mean you never all your assignment individual, is it?
You mean?
Yeah, in the unit. Got right. So you were the project member who did not participate, right? So the project member, notice that, sure got project leader, right? Yes. And you had a project timeline, right? Like this is when you start, this is when you end. Every time you come out with a good plan, like you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this, and that day you do everything, correct? Am I right? Yes or no? Did you do everything? You look like the person who does everything. You also, right? Oh my God, you're the one who passes everything. You like? It's called Tai Chi. Some of you are very good at Tai Chi, you know? Yeah, some students when they come to project, it's like very good. They Tai Chi everything to everybody else, and then they sit back and play games. Yes, I know some of you have the face of Tai Chi, some of you have the face of doing it. But anyway, when you do projects, you have this activities, and this is quite critical. Repeat, there is activity on arrow network diagram and activity on node diagram, network diagram. The word network diagram, you need to know which one we are using. So when you are given a diagram, you need to be aware which diagram you're looking at to be able to interpret it. Are we okay? So this one, start. This means 1A, activity. This one, start. There's nothing here, just a note. The activities are on the arrow. Are you okay in this part? Remember, 2 ways of presenting information. 2 ways. So you do have to know this. Now have a look at this part. Drawing a diagram. Consider the project starts with the following 3 activities. Activity A, no. Okay, now very important, you need to know what is preceding activities. They will write down the word which is preceding, which activity done before. Got it? If they say not available, meaning it's the first one, start. Are you okay? So not available, duration 5, 10, and then A and B. So you can see the way to draw it already. Got it? A, B, then C is with A, B, and then N. So now, which is on the critical part?
C.
BC or AC?
C.
No. BC or AC is critical part? No. A is 5 days.
C.
B is 10 days. C is 3 days, correct?
A,
B,
and
C is the critical part. Can you understand that one? The longest is the critical part. That means A got slack. A got slack. How many days slack? A got slack how many days? 5 days. You can delay A for 5 days. It's still okay. Does that make sense? Clear? Not clear? Do you understand this one already? Do you know what's mean a critical part? You got studied this before? No. First time studying it? I thought diploma some of you studied this, right? No. Okay, never mind. But it's not a complex idea. If you understand this, the same idea apply across. It gets very complicated. Okay, it gets very complicated like this. This is the complicated version. I repeat, this is the complicated version. Okay. So when you have, let's say, an event, let me see an event here. start. Okay, you got estimated time, got variance. Variance is basically how to calculate variance. Variance is here, guys. Pessimistic minus optimistic divided by 6 power of 2. Got it? Okay. Higher the variance, the more the risk for the event. Higher the variance, the more the risk for the event or that timing. So let's look at which one has high level of variance. I got 56, right? That's a high level of variance there. Got it? Now, which is a critical part? A, D, H. Can you see ADH is the critical part? Can Okay, you probably can see it. It's a bit darker, yes or not? Okay, it's the longest. Are we okay? When it's the longest, it's quite easy. You see, this one take how many days? Activity A take 40 days. ET stands for estimated time. D take 30 days. H take 16 days. So you can see 40 plus 30 become 70. 70 plus 16 become 86. 86, and this ends at 86. Are we okay? Now this one start. How many days will be? Estimate time is 40 days, correct? How many days for E? 20. So this one become 60. Then this one now follows into H, yes or no? Okay, H is 16. But you notice since there are two lines going in, right? Pay attention, make a note of this. Since there are two lines going in, you need to set this one. Now you got two lines, right? It's like 60 plus 16 become 76. Are we clear? It's 76. Whereas this one is 70 plus 16 is 86, correct? So you need to use the longer version. Are we okay in this part? So, are we okay in this how to select which one to go when you have two lines coming in? You use the longer one. Are we okay? So, EOT plus ET, right? EOT plus ET. 76 versus, this one is 60, 76 versus 86. So, this one become 86. Are you clear? Not clear? Can So same way this one goes this way. You got two coming in, right? Got these two coming in. So this one is 86. This one is 68. So this one become 86, the longest. Follow Okay. Now there is something called earliest start time, latest start time. EST, LST. Make a note that there is something called EST, LST. Latest start time, earliest start time. Are we okay? Latest start time. Latest start time is going to be, okay, pay attention. Here, latest this one can start is 86 because it's already on critical part. This one, sorry. Latest this one can start is 70 days. The earliest it can start also 70 days. Okay, repeat again. Anything on critical part, earliest start time, latest start time same. Earliest start time and latest start time will be the same. You cannot delay or you can't do anything because they are critical part. Are we okay this part? But anything not on critical part can have difference. Are you clear? So for example, 86 minus 28, what do you get? 86 86 minus 28? 58. Okay. So the timing this one can start, the latest it can start is 58 days. The earliest it can start is 40 days. Okay, repeat again. For F, just telling you for F only. For F only, for this one, earliest start time is going to be 40. Latest start time is going to be 58. Does that make sense? Why? Because got how many days slack? Slack is 86 minus 68. 86 minus 68, what do you got? 8. I think it's about 18 days, right? 86 minus 68. 18 days, right? You have 18 days of slack. Slack 18. This line got a slack of 18 days. Do you understand why? Yes, no. The whole line got a slack of 18 days. You can delay up to 18 days, any mixture. Are we okay in this part? So what is the EST, LST for B? Earliest start time? Latest start time? Guys, you know how to get that? Earliest you can start 0 lah, because 0 what? Are you clear now? Start now lah. Are you clear now? Latest you can start is 58 minus 40 Okay, are you okay this part? You sure you can understand this one? If you understand this too, can you do I? Very tricky question. Let's see how you handle this. I. Can I get EST, LST? Hey, answer. Guys, I need an answer. Earliest start time? Can you start on 44 days? Can you start on 44 days? Yes, no?
Yes.
Cannot. Kazwani? You can start on the 44 day. Must you finish G before you start? Must you finish G before you start I? Huh? Must you finish G before you start I?
No.
What do you mean no? What do you mean no? There's an arrow that comes that way. Must you finish G before you start I?
Yes.
Yes. In other words, example, you cannot cook the egg without breaking the egg. I mean, you can lah, you can boil it lah, but you're doing telur goreng, you have to break the egg and then you can goreng. You cannot like, never mind, I will break the egg after frying it. That means what? Put the egg there, fry, then break. Doesn't work, right? That's what this is about. Are you clear? So here, EST is going to be, earliest start time is going to be 52. Why 52?
36.
48.
48.
Because of the
40 plus
so
8, 48. This one is 4. The earliest you can start is not 44 days, it's 48 days because you have to finish this. Are you clear? Can. Okay. Latest start date? You know how to do it now? You sure you guys understand it now?
50.
Sure. Come out for exam one for sure.
So how to 50?
86 minus 36 lah. You guys okay now? Okay, never mind. I ask you one more time. Guys, this one. Guys, EST. You understand? You understand? You understand? You understand? Can. Are you clear? Guys, go home. Understand that one, huh? I'm going to stop here because your brain already getting fried. Okay, huh? So I want you to finish reading all of this up. You guys okay?
Ni 86 tu dah 36 tu dah buat.
Yeah, never mind. Go home, ask ChatGPT to explain to you. Ask ChatGPT to explain to you. EST, LST calculations. Using Socratic method. Are you clear? Okay. Any questions? Any questions? I will stop here. Okay. I will see you on the next week, Wednesday, right? Okay. I will try to upload all the chapters previously done. Okay. If you can, start studying earlier.
So the test module
Oh, yeah.
Module 2, 3, 4. 4, not yet finished. So I'll test. You know where I'm going to test it, right? I already show you the question already. Maybe EST, LST calculation, which is the critical part. Okay? Can I? Alright. See, cannot finish this chapter. So I can finish this chapter. You can, but go very fast. So I have to slow down for you to understand.